Hey everyone, Ryan coming at you here from John's 4x4, and in this video we're going to show you what we kind of go through in an inspection report on a 4x4 such as this Jeep Wrangler coming in from Texas. We have a full inspection report on our website. I'll link it to the description, but the main purpose of this video is to kind of give you guys an overview of what we go through until we find out what's wrong and we can pinpoint the problem and fix it for our customers. Cameron right here is checking out the lighting system, the electrical system on the Jeep, making sure turn signals work, high beams, low beams. We go through the whole process. We actually have a list on our website of what we go through, which is what Cameron's checking off in the boxes right there on his iPad. We take pictures, so whenever the customer can view their invoice or receipt, it'll show pictures actually what's wrong. We also have something called remote pay, which is contactless payment, pickup, and drop off. You can find more information on our website, which I will also link in the description. So what he's doing is revving the engine because that's the way the battery checker works. It'll check the alternator, it will check the battery, it'll check the connections, and if there's something wrong, our battery checker tool or our electrical system tool will let us know, and then we can relay it to the customer. No problems, that's what we like to see. Right here, I like to grab a shot of the pretty Jeep that was outside. Love the Nardo gray. All right, let's hear it. What was it, a CV?
Yes, a CV on the front drive shaft.
CV on front drive shaft. You add any lift to these things and it smokes the CVs. So,
I'll show you what it is. Drive shaft. That's with the CV removed, and then that's the CV. So what happens is it dries out and goes bad.
I wanted to go over kind of the upgrade option here. On the top, you'll see something similar to the Jeep JK drive shaft. It is also known as a constant velocity or a CV drive shaft. On the bottom, you can kind of see how there are multiple U-joints on the drive shaft, which allow it to have better articulation. It centers the drive shaft and will allow for more extreme angles. This is known as a double cardan joint or a double cardan drive shaft because there are two joints on the top at that H-yoke to the left on the nice shiny one. This is a common application whenever you decide to lift your Jeep or if you're wanting to off-road in some heavier terrain, anything off the standard light wheeling. So this is a common upgrade that we usually recommend if you're going to be out in the forest or out rock crawling or off-roading. Makes sense.
You have a thing, then you have steel balls that go inside here with the cage, and it gets rusty in there and it just binds. So as it moves at an angle like this, it's a constant velocity joint and it just wears. They're supposed to be lubed.
Yeah.
So when it gets dry like that, that's what happens.
That makes sense.
And it sounds like that.
We like to take the vehicles that are still drivable when the customer brings it to us to take the chance to listen to noises and see how the vehicle behaves on the road, see if there's anything standing out that we can see just by driving it, aside from what the customer says is just part of our standard procedure.
Suspension issues. It's just well broken in suspension. Tires are out of balance a tiny bit. He also has spacers on his wheels, and they're offset wheels, so
they stick out way far.
So the further your offset is pushing your wheel out from the center of the knuckle, the harder it is on all your steering components.
What are your thoughts on how it's driving? Any input?
Yeah, it's driving pretty good, even with the worn front suspension parts. So I think if the customer chooses to get those parts replaced, it should ride pretty good. Maybe some new shocks would help it a little more. These shocks are old and worn. They're not completely shot, but you can
feel it.
You can tell that they're not as good as new ones.
No.
These ones they don't have any paint left on them. All the paint is chipped off the housings and they're rusty. So they are well used. So I've finished with my inspection and my notes, and then I send it to my service writer, and he will notify the customer with my findings and my pictures and my recommendations, and the customer will choose what they would like to have repaired.
Cool.
So,
and that's an inspection. And depending on what's wrong with the vehicle, we will attack it with customer permission. That's pretty much how it goes around here.